Welcome back. The riddle is solved, and one of our friends is a little bit worse for wear, but the rest of the group doesn't seem to care that much, unfortunately.
Someone's been here recently.
And we know there's some soldiers in the area. I'm not sure if that's who we'd be referring to, but before we head in here... Oh, we're at a dead end at the bottom.
I wager we have a few more of Der Henna's surprises for
One
unwanted
buffoon
visitors
less.
ahead.
Well, well, the competition's here. Kill them!
We're slightly outnumbered here, actually. This is not good. Thankfully, they're not as skilled as we are. Might as well. Whoa, that's new.
Plot thickens.
They must have descended straight from their quarter.
Let a Nordling.
Astrological
Another
curios. Okay, hold on.
Later Elorn, Lisa Elorn, later dear! It's reacting to my spell.
I see that. But maybe some of these books might have the gnomes of Mahakam and Tir Tocher. There might be some clues in here, actually. We just picked up 4 books. Astrological Curios. A long time ago, the princes of Bremervord angered the powers of the depths, perhaps even the gods themselves. A sea dragon began to prowl the coastal waters, killing fishermen and pearl hunters. Poverty and hunger threatened the principality, so the ruler decided to appease the sea by sacrificing a maiden, for in those dark times, that was the very manner for dealing with economic crisis. Luckily for the young woman, a witcher was in the area. Strolling along a beach, he noticed a serpentine beast emerging from the water towards the lass, who was chained to a seaside rock in a less than decent pose. The witcher killed the dragon, freed the woman, and as the chroniclers tell us, plowed her with her consent on the aforementioned rock. We can see a reflection of these events in the summer sky on condition that our silver lady does not show her face. There is the fearful lass looking west towards the dragon, slithering ever closer, and beyond this, the witcher sneaking up on the beast from behind. Okay. Treasures? Among the acknowledged treasures of the last century, 3 have gained exceptional fame. First is the Amber Chamber, which Verfuril, Demovin's father, took as a spoil when he defeated Medal of Temeria. This breathtaking masterpiece, a chamber's decor made entirely from amber, was sadly lost in the storm of war. Either buried or destroyed, all traces of it have disappeared. The second treasure belonged to the dragon Okvist of Quartz Mountain, also known as the Crystal Mountain or the Mountain of the Burning Sands. A group led by Yarp and Zigrin killed the beast and took the treasure, which included sapphires singular in hue and diamonds as large as cherries. Said gems then sent the jewelry market into disarray. The third legendary treasure of this century is shrouded in mystery, for both its composition and the details of how and where it was found remains secret. One thing is certain, it included ancient artifacts of untold power. One of the items exploded, claiming the lives of 3 of the 5 mages studying it. The world at large might have heard more about the discovery on this occasion, but not long after the tragic accident, a veil of silence once more descended on the matter. What's going on? The gnomes. In the north, gnomes are widely known to inhabit Mahakam, where they coexist in full harmony with dwarves without any of the discord that usually arises when 2 races settle a single area. Both the gnomes and dwarves, the mountainous region make a living by mining and processing the untold mineral riches found there. Yet the mountains, hills, and vales of Mahakam are not home to the largest gnomish population. That honor belongs to Tir Tocher, where the diminutive creatures produce the legendary weapons that are both exported north and south. The famous Gwyrs, forged according to gnomish technology, are reputed to be the best blades in the world. Though less known about the swords themselves, the blast furnaces and steam hammers which the gnomes and dwarves use to smelt metal and work alloys deserve the same admiration. If you know that Tir Tocher became a leading exporter of beautiful opals after an earthquake revealed thick seams of the precious mineral. Gnomes are unrivaled masters of the jeweler's craft, and Mount Anur, the slope of which collapsed to reveal the deposits, is now called Treasure Mountain, as the opal is mined directly from one of its faces. Okay. And astrological charts. Oh, God. Mankib, Sape, Hetisia, Misa, Cad Posterior, and Cad Prior. Interesting. 514 to 534. I don't know if maybe that'll be important.
I cannot hope to finish the research alone.
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
Did I hear someone complain about the riddles being too easy?
Seriously.
Let's think this through. There are 9 alcoves, a fresco in each. That's 3 groups of 3 frescoes.
The riddle mentions 3 guides above the travelers. We must examine the frescoes, seek answers there.
Frescoes?
I'll advise you about the riddle, but I will not take part in disarming the device. I've got a bad feeling about this.
What are the frescoes? Place yourself and 2 of your companions on the right pressure plates. Oh. Look at this. Okay, hold on. We got a strange, like, 2-headed dragon thing here. This is crazy. And there's no shortage of these things either, like...
A group of travelers wandering through the dark. 3 guides above them, so 3 were marked. At night they trailed a drake serpentine and a silver lady shining and fine. If only her visage she would deign to unfold. By day they followed a mountain vault, its riches untold.
So Drake, Serpentine, Silver Lady, Mountain Vault?
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time.
Whoa.
In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Dehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Oh my god. Okay, let's hear the line one more time.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The first verse was, "At night they trailed a drake serpentine."
At night they trail the drake serpentine.
What do you think of the first verse?
I would say it describes a serpentine dragon swallowing its own tail, which represents infinity and thus time. The hourglass likewise symbolizes time. In this case, the time of the traveler's journey.
I believe it's the dragon constellation. It would be visible at night. What's more, sources on alchemy invariably portray dragons as winged, and as an accomplished alchemist, Gehenna would also be a competent astrologer. The verse must refer to the constellation.
In alchemy, the winged serpentine dragon represents prime matter, an essential component in the process of alchemical transformation. The verse seems to indicate the allegory illustrating that transformation.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the dragon constellation. That seems to make the most sense.
It should be the dragon constellation.
I shall take that one.
Okay, what about the second verse?
What do you think of the second verse?
To my mind, it speaks of the white rose, symbol of the Order of the Flaming Rose. You see, the fresco itself resembles a coat of arms, and in heraldry, silver is rendered as white. So the Silver Lady and White Rose are one and the same.
I don't know.
I think it describes the full moon. In alchemy, the moon represents both silver as a metal and the feminine element.
The order remains largely unknown in the south, so the White Rose seems unlikely. Every Nilfgaardian, on the other hand, has heard of the Imperial Nausicaa Brigade, which has the Death's Head as its symbol. The brigade's name is female, and they say death follows the unit. So the Silver Lady could very well be Nausicaa or the Death's Head.
That's a tough one. Let's hear how it was worded.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
As I recall, the second verse was, "A silver lady shining and fine, if only her visage she would deign to unfold."
Shining and fine. Roses don't shine. Death's Head doesn't shine. The moon definitely shines.
I think it's the full moon.
Allow me.
Okay, third verse.
What do you say to the third verse?
It describes the precipice, the ravine amidst mountains. An ancient rule in alchemy states, as above, so below. The vault is the ravine into which the riches of the mountain flow.
We must read the third line literally. To me, it suggests the Mahakam Mountains and its mines, from which dwarves and gnomes extract many ores that are invaluable to alchemists. Those mountains are a vault in and of themselves.
The verse is not literal. In many legends, towers are in fact vaults, which the hero must penetrate in order to rescue an imprisoned princess or find a long-concealed magic item. The mountain vault is the tower.
Okay, what we need to do is I like to get their analysis and then hear it again.
Can someone remind me how the line was worded?
The third fragment mentioned a mountain vault containing untold riches
Mountain
which
vault.
guided the travelers
I mean-
by day.
If it's a mountain vault, I highly doubt that it would be a ravine or a tower. It would have to be the mine entrance in the mountainside, no? Let's go with it.
The mine entrance in the mountainside. That seems logical.
Seems
I'll stand
logical.
next to that fresco.
Let's give it a shot. Or one of us
Let's
is
see
going
if
to
we
be
can solve
incinerated.
this. Take your places.
Count me out. I want to live.
As you will.
Oh god. Oh, I have to do... Is this the mountainside one? Do I have to stand on it? I guess so.
Intruder detected.
Oh shit.
No!
Whoa! Whoa. Wait, so was that good or bad? The door's open.
Our expedition has grown thin. Such a shame. I actually found those two amusing.
Shut up.
Of course, my lady.
What? So he's toast. Are you kidding me?
A golem? So Darehenna's legend is true?
It is no more than an obedient machine created to follow orders and kill. Not unlike our Witcher.
So I guess we should get along famously.
You? What do you know about golems?
I don't run into them in every forest, but any good bestiary describes golems at length, and I've read more than my share of those.
Geralt, I'm not questioning your knowledge, but I should be the one to...
Actually, you are questioning my knowledge. Listen, I know what I'm doing. I'll try to get it to reveal the word that'll deactivate it, or I'll just mess with its head. Break the code.
Okay.
So now we've got a burglar in our midst. Be my guest. Try.
I mean, we have solved
My
the previous
intentions
two.
are good.
As are mine. Know, however, that this may change.
Darehenna must have been pretty lonely if he gave you eloquence.
The Master made me a guardian. Nothing less, nothing more. And you, provided you stand there, are a guest.
Okay. Who created you?
Do you remember your creator?
Of course, I was summoned into being by Master Darehenna. I abide by his will, by his power, by the necessity encased in my stone bowels.
Darehenna is dead.
His word, which animates me, lives on, as does his legacy, which I protect. Empires will rise and fall, rivers will shift their courses, but I will remain obedient to one master on my eternal watch.
Okay. Can you tell me about Darehenna a little bit more?
Darehenna must have been an exceptional man. Can you tell me about him?
I guard everything that belonged to the Master, including his privacy, which he valued highly. I can tell you nothing.
Okay. What about your name word?
Can I ask you for the name word which brought you to life and which can deactivate you?
Do that, and I shall consider you an intruder.
I liked how he asked if we could ask it. If we do this on him, is he going to flip out? I think you're a living being. Let's ask some
I
other
have
questions.
other questions.
What exactly are you?
So you're aware you're an automaton?
Do we really know who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed? Is human life predictable in that the cycle of birth and death ensnares it? Better than mine. When a human is born, he is obedient to his parents. Later, he listens to tutors, masters, corporals. Finally, he succumbs to the will of death.
And to think that Adalbert questioned Darehenna's mastery.
Okay, so who's allowed to pass here?
Who, if anyone, is allowed to pass?
Darehenna, but he is dead. Also guests may pass, but I stop intruders.
Tell me more. Who's a guest and who's an intruder?
Is it not obvious? A guest keeps his distance, or knows the name word. An intruder is anyone who enters too far, attacks me, or otherwise interferes with my being.
Has anybody tried to enter before us?
Has anyone tried to enter before?
I recall no intruders. I do, however, remember guests who left after being warned.
When was that? What did you discuss?
I am a machine. My memory is limited.
Okay. You remember them being here, but not what you talked about. Can you make sovereign decisions?
You are far more self-aware than a typical golem. Can you make sovereign decisions?
The Master made me the way I am, because long discussions were to his liking. I can make decisions, within my program, of course.
So you decide who's a guest and who's an intruder.
Who else would? Guests chat innocuously, exerting no pressure. All others are intruders.
Exerting no pressure. Okay. Which is
I
what
have
we're
other
kind of doing.
questions.
Do you have a name?
Did your creator give you a name?
I'm called obedience and unyielding persistence. I am a guardian and the humblest of servants.
A golem's name is the word that gave it life, and that can take it away. You must have a name.
I own nothing. Everything belongs to my master. How could I divulge the name if I exist solely to protect my creator's property?
Okay. Running out of options here. You're a masterpiece.
Powerful magic created you. Derhana was a true master.
He is still, since his mastery survives.
Okay, so you are self-aware. Are you lonely?
As a conscious being, you must be lonely here.
You are wrong. The pain of the world, melancholy, lies within the domain of emotions and feelings. My thoughts are governed by pure logic, restricted by my program.
But you can learn. They say that a penchant for philosophy can only come from curiosity.
In my case, it comes from the will of the master, who like to speak with me.
And do you feel a need to discuss?
I feel nothing. I just have that need.
Okay, and can I ask you about your program?
Can we discuss the program that controls your behavior?
Of course not.
Okay.
I have other questions.
Oh, this is new. I know enough. Or this is going nowhere. I guess we know enough?
All right. I think I know how to get past this thing without a fight.
Burglar witchers, philosopher golems, an expedition replete with fascinating discoveries.
And terrible disappointments. Shut up, Adelbear. And you, Witcher, deal with that golem.
We know you exist by the will of your master, thanks to the name word he gave you.
That is true.
I'm a guest here and wish to talk. As your guest, I would like to know your name. He said something about not being too pushy. And I'm wondering... I'm a guest here and I wish to talk.
You were created to discern intruders from guests. You are to stop the former and greet the latter.
Intruders must be stopped.
Okay. I invoke the sacred law of hospitality. Hospitality feels a bit forward. Let's talk about lies and delusions. Man.
Are you aware that intruders may seek to deceive you?
I have stone fists to defend myself against those armed with swords. I have my iron logic to defend against those armed with words.
But intruders could include sorcerers who alter reality. They could be illusionists or mere liars. What then is certain?
My existence is certain, as is my master's will.
Okay. I'm Derhana in disguise and I've been testing you. Only you and your master's will exist. Everything else is doubtful. As sapient beings, we can come to an understanding. I'm really hesitant to use like these like our signs. I think he's gonna see right through that. If you don't let us pass, you'll die. I don't know. Only you and your master's will exist. Everything else is doubtful.
Since only you and the master's legacy exist for certain, everything else is doubtful. A malicious intruder could cloud your senses.
I am the guardian. The master prepared me for that.
He couldn't foresee everything, so he gave you a mind to compensate. You're much more conscious and intelligent than a guardian needs to be. Your master says, greet guests and stop intruders. That is certain, but everything else can be a lie. And you cannot allow yourself to attack guests. That would be against your master's will.
Guests must be greeted, and intruders must be stopped. This is Tehenna's will. Are you a guest or an intruder?
Doesn't matter what I answer. Your senses deceive you. You can trust only your mind. You can't assume I'm a guest, because I may be an intruder. You can't
This
assume
is one of
I'm an
those,
intruder,
like...
because I may be a guest.
This is a contradiction.
Exactly.
A paradox. The law of excluded
He's
middle.
really struggling. Whoa!
We've done it.
Whoa!
Penetrated Tehenna's laboratory.
Let's have a look.
We literally just
This is
blew
better
his
than I'd hoped.
mind.
A great success for
That's
Nilfgaard, this
cool.
mission.